K-12 in Kentucky faces a problem. They've come up short in both elementary and special ed teachers. In the 2023-2024 school year alone, 363 special ed and early childhood positions went vacant across the state. 77% of schools reported that special ed positions were most difficult to fill, while 71% of schools had trouble simply hiring general elementary teachers. What if Berea College could meet both challenges at once? In the 2022-2023 school year, 16.6% of Kentucky public school students were identified with disabilities, one of the highest rates in the nation. This represents a 4.2 percentage point increase since 1990, highlighting the increasing demand for K-12 educators who can also meet the needs of special ed students. Nationally, 48 states and the District of Columbia report shortages in K-12 special ed. Kentucky mirrors these trends. The dual certification program, developed within the Department of Education Studies at Berea College, is designed to produce graduates who are uniquely qualified to teach general elementary and special education. These dual certified teachers will bring down vacancy rates, providing educator stability in Kentucky classrooms statewide. The need right here in our own state can be met by graduates of Berea College, giving opportunity, promoting excellence, and making education accessible for all K-12 students.
I want to be a teacher that every student wants and needs. I want to be a teacher that is inclusive and not exclusive. I'm all for everyone learning together at the same time. I don't want people to fall behind regardless of your learning disability. If you have special needs, if you're in my class, we're all going to learn collectively. Even I'm going to learn, students are going to learn, I'm going to learn, and we're all going to be happy.
My brother, he's on the spectrum and he has comorbid ADHD, and he didn't get diagnosed till he was 24 and then 26 with each of them respectively. He got through school and he's doing fine, he works independently and stuff like that. He and I have had a lot of conversations, and the way that he's always phrased it to me is how could it have gone differently if someone could have realized it earlier and if the resources were available.
My brother has special needs, and so my whole life I've watched him struggle and people treat him different, and so I know that's what makes me tick. That's why I went into education in the first place, is because I felt like he deserved more and he didn't get what he deserved, and I refused to let that happen to another child.
The vast majority of students with IEPs are educated in the general education setting. Sure. I would take a guess that it's about 80% of our students that have disabilities in our school are educated in the general education population. And if you walked into any classroom that I teach in, you would not be able to immediately just look out into the students and go, that kid has a disability.
Sure.
You couldn't tell.
Sure.
The only way you would tell is if you saw their work.
Sure.
Of the American population, about 21% of the American adult population is functionally illiterate. We see that at the high school level. We have seniors who are reading at a 4th grade level. We have students that if I don't give them a calculator, they can't do math. And it's not because they can't process the information, and it's not because they can't reason with it. It's that the goalposts keep moving. The goal of special education is to not lower the bar. The goal of special education is to raise the kid up to where they can hit the bar. And if I can make it easier for them to process that information, then I've made it to where they can perform at the same level as their peers.
When you see, children that don't know how to read, don't know numbers, and you're able to give them the tools, and they can do that.
And when their brain, you can see it click, and they know how to do it, it's just amazing to be the person that has helped them to become who they are. And when they we're really lucky at our school that we see them from kindergarten to graduation. And when they walk around at the end and we're like, wow, you did it. And they know that we may have helped them at the beginning, but they made it all the way there.
I'm very excited about what you're doing, what Berea College is doing. I am super excited about having Dr. Gurefs at the helm in special education. Her expertise is amazing. The opportunities that she's offering to her college students are above and beyond even what I was provided or offered, having been a graduate of Eastern Kentucky University. She's not only allowing them to learn the material, the vocabulary, the laws, all the things they have to know, but she's giving them lots of experiential opportunities as well. And As a director here at Berea, I have loved being able to participate in that and have students come in and just be an open book to learning, thinking about education differently than they had before.
Well, first to note, within geographical context, Berea is situated in one of the regions that is known as the disability and debility belts of America. But let's take a broader look at the American landscape. We have an approximation of 7.5 million students who are currently diagnosed or receiving services or individualized services under IDEA. And that roughly accounts for about 15% of the student population. Berea population of students, Kentucky population of students falls within those statistics as well. So when we look at teacher preparation programs, at worst, we're saying all teachers need to be exposed to diverse populations, regardless whether it's diverse in racial diversity, diverse in economic diversity, disability diversity, developmental diversities. There is a gap that exists that says at worst, teacher education preparation programs have been charged with a mandate to prepare all students who are wanting to be teachers in the classroom for inclusive educational practices, and at best to have a program that is designated to serve it, and it could be a small percentage of teachers who are wanting a dual certification in general education studies as well as learning behavior and disorder studies, which is another special education classification in the state of Kentucky.
So if you had a candidate who was just general elementary, or a candidate who was general elementary but had special ed training too, who would you hire in those cases, holding all things even?
The one who had the dual certification,
okay.
Special ed and regular ed.
Okay, that makes sense. That's what the field is telling me. But I've heard some people say that getting trained in special ed actually is a negative thing.
Why?
Would that be possible?
I don't see how it could be. You have somebody who's trained in specially designed instruction. How could that be a negative thing?
Okay.
That's what you want.
Okay. Yeah.
The types of services that a special ed teacher will provide is good for all kids.
7.5 million American students, or roughly 15% of them, have disabilities that qualify them for special instruction, what's known as individual education plans. But teachers trained in this critical area are in short supply. At the beginning of the current school year, 70% of schools surveyed said they had openings for special education teachers.
The biggest concern that we have would be hiring, and we're in a much better place than we were last year overall with hiring, but we still have one significant area of need, and that is with special education teachers.
Hundreds of current and future educators gathered at Northern Kentucky University to get young people excited about the teaching profession. It comes as Kentucky deals with a teacher shortage. A study by the Kentucky Department of Education shows 13% of vacant positions stayed empty the entire 2023-24 school year.
Not only are fewer students going into the field, but there are more teachers who are retiring at faster rates.
The dean of NKU's College of Education says their enrollment numbers are moving in the right direction.
But we have definitely seen stronger numbers in our elementary program. We've seen stronger numbers in special education, which is also an area of shortage. So we're gaining ground.
There are people who are voting whether or not Berea should approve this program. They're non-educators, they're in different fields. If you were to talk to them, why should we advocate for support of this new program? How will it help broadly? Who will it help from your perspective?
You know, special education teachers is a shortage area. We are in Appalachia. We are in a district that's small and struggles to compete with some of the larger districts in our area when it comes to hiring of staff and things of that nature. Definitely, we're always looking for opportunities to grow our own, and because of the close connection between Berea Independent Schools and Berea College, I kind of see it that way, like the work that we've been sharing really is my effort to grow our own. special ed certified staff members, you know, giving us an additional pool of teachers that we could potentially hire from. And one of the nice things about it is that those teachers are so close to us. They'll be gaining some of their on-site program experience right here in our district. So not only will we be able to have a larger hiring staff pool here, but we'll also already know those students. So we'll know how they work with particular grade levels. We'll potentially know what their strengths and weaknesses are, or where they're working to grow in their own professional learning, because we've worked directly with those students. So it's not a blind application, because anybody can look good on paper. It's a nice opportunity for us to be able to help train and develop the teachers that could potentially be coming back our way.
I feel like teachers need to have that general education in SPED, because it will be so much easier to teach class rather than like asking a student to help little Johnny over here because he's not comprehending what the teacher is saying, but you do, so make it sound easier. Like, no, that's your job.
Like, we were the kind of family that needed those resources that were not available to us, that were not offered to us. Because like we had like a single mom working all day long, and my brother and I have such a big age gap too, we're 8 years apart. And I just always think like, if I could be able to help offer those resources, and like if I have the knowledge to know about those resources and to be one of those resources, how differently can I help a child's life go to help with that early intervention? Because it helps so much. Because like my boyfriend got diagnosed at 4. My boyfriend and my brother had such different schooling experiences because my boyfriend actually had that diagnosis going in, and he was able to get like those IEPs and accommodations that he needed. My brother and I talk about it a lot of like what could have been different if someone would have noticed.